What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the MP-19 Smokescreen versus MP-19 Plus, the anime Smokescreen. So these came out many years apart. So this came out in 2013. I had to go look that up. This just came out in February of this year, 2020. So 7 years apart. But some differences here. We'll take a look at all of that. Here are the boxes. You do get a different cartoon image. You can see already there's an extra accessory here with the Plus version. And on the back, you got some different product images. Here he is with MP-10 way back in the day. And now we've got alternate face sculpts. You've got the smoke effects. So very nice that they've decided to include all that. Same vehicle. Everything else is the same. You do get different instructions, so the instructions are slightly different, and I'll just point out the differences. I'm not going to go through everything, but they are different in terms of the accessories. So you get the face gimmick here, you've got the smoke gimmick here, and on the back, on the transformation instructions, it's actually different. So if you look on step 26 right there, it shows you how to flip out the shoulder missiles. The shoulder missiles on the original figure were actually a separate part that you would plug in. So that's changed. So I'm going to actually show the transformation. And then here are the collector's cards. They look similar. The new ones are much thicker. I guess they're using a better card stock here. But overall, pretty much the same for the cards. So that's really it for the packaging. Let's get these guys out here and take a look how good they really are. And here they are with their accessories. And you can see right away that the MP-19 Plus comes with quite a bit more. Now you'll wonder, okay, where are these shoulder rockets? Well, they're built in. You kind of see them through the windshield here a little bit. You can kind of make them out there. So they're built in, so those aren't really extra, so we'll take those out of the picture. And then the guns are the same, except the new one is painted this kind of grayish white color, and that looks really good, but those are the same. And then what you're left with is the extra faces, which are really quite nice. So there is kind of a open smiling face, and then there's more of a serious ready for battle face. Okay, and then the last thing you get is the smoke effect, and the smoke effect does split in half. You can make it into two and use that for tires or whatever. So all in all, you get quite a bit more accessories. So we're going to give accessories to MP-19 Plus. All right, now moving on to other categories. We're going to have a lot of ties here. So as far as build, engineering, transformation, and articulation, they are the same. They're the exact same mold. There's really no changes. I did mention there's a change to the shoulder rockets. They're actually built in versus being in there, but even on the original there was a little piece of the shoulder rockets that actually folded inside of the vehicle. So really not much change there, honestly. I mean, it's nice that they made them smaller, but we're not going to talk about that here because that really comes out in robot mode. So in terms of build, engineering, transformation, articulation, we're going to give them a tie. Right, now let's take a look at the alt modes. There are some differences in terms of the paint and the deco. As far as the actual vehicles, they are the same mold, but I do want to show some of the differences. So on the front here, you can see you've got a much bigger Autobot logo on the new one. And they've taken away the Z logo. I actually kind of like the Z logo. I think I told you in a previous review that my dad had a red car, 280Z, and so this has nostalgia to me. But there's a logo, and I kind of like that they have that there. No other differences there in the front. The blue is a different blue, and the red is a different red. They're kind of richer and deeper colors. They really do look nice. But the other differences here on the side, you can see they've gotten rid of all of the logos. So on the original, they had Smoke Tactics, Devcon Oil, all these other ones. On this one, just the number. They just kept the number. And then the wheels are also different. You've got the silver painted wheels here versus the white on the new one. So that's the difference there. Same for the window. On this one, the black is painted black. Here it's painted silver. It's like a bluish silver. It's trying to match this other color, but it does look different there. Then on the back, you've got the tail lights here, orange and red, whereas on the new one, it's just blue. The reason I did that is because in robot mode, it looks a lot more tune accurate because there's no red lights on his feet. Just kind of you know, sacrificing the look of the vehicle for the sake of the robot mode. So I think, you know, this is a tough call because this comes down to preference, but I'm going to give alt mode to MP-19 because I think it's more realistic. It really looks like it could be a real vehicle from that day. And it was a real vehicle, a 280Z, but this looks like it could be a real race car on the track. Whereas this one looks very cartoony. That's what it's going for, but I'm just going to say in terms of alt mode, I'm going to give that to MP-19 just because of the realistic look. Next we're going to take a look at the paint and sculpt, but I did want to show you the difference in the transformation here. So I've got them both not fully transformed on this one, so you can see you've got the shoulder cannons hanging down here. They sort of sit underneath the front windshield, and they are actually a little tricky to get out here, so you got to fold it in the right order. So you got to, there you go. And same on this side. Fold this down and get it out of there. And that just sits flush on the top like that. It does kind of remind me of the MP Hound that we just got, where it just kind of sits on top. Then you fold this in, and this is the same as the other transformation. I just needed to finish it. And then flip this around. All that's the same. I just wanted to show you that. And then you put these wings backwards. And then to complete this guy, you got to get out his separate piece for the shoulder cannons here. So you put those, and there you go. There's his. You can see he's a little bit loose. This is a KO, so some of the joints are a little bit on the loose side, but all intents and purposes, it's the exact same bot. But here you have them both in their robot mode. And let's take a quick 360. We'll try to get close up here. You can see right away the face sculpt is definitely different. He's got sort of a bigger or more pronounced chin, and then the horns are a tiny bit smaller. Also, the eyes are less recessed. On the original, they were kind of recessed. So a lot nicer looking head sculpt. Looks a lot more like the cartoon. I like the big Autobot logo in this mode. I think that makes a lot more sense. It looks a lot better. And here's where you see why they made the decisions they made with the paint. So the feet now look much more streamlined in the robot mode because they don't have those headlights on there. So let's take a quick 360. So we'll take a look at all the paint. So the paint is pretty much the same on both. They're all painted completely throughout, pretty much. The only thing I can say that's maybe painted on here, that's not painted on here, is this center section here has got some matte gray paint. So instead of black, it's got the gray. So it's replaced all the black plastic with gray plastic. But then they painted this. All of this paint, this white paint here, there was equivalent paint on the old one. So no any more paint on the old one than or the new one. They're pretty much the same. Our last thing here is sculpt, and again, these are the exact same figure. The only difference, literally the only difference, is these guns and the face. And I'm gonna have to give it to the MP-19 Plus because if you look at the cartoon image, I forgot to mention, I probably had it up there already, but they weren't this big. These just look a little too big. And then the head itself is just the proportion a little bit off. But if you look at this guy's head, the proportions and the look of it are just really well done. And that's really the differentiating factor here is the head sculpt and the face when it comes to this. And then these cannons. So I'm going to give sculpt to the 19 Plus. So final thoughts on these guys. You can see the score there. They're pretty much as close to a tie as you could get. I forgot to mention cost is a tie. These are both retail for $79.99, so no difference there. So the only factor that you really get an advantage here is accessories. You've got these smoke effects and you've got the alternate face pieces. The deco is a preference kind of thing. I prefer this deco. A lot of people are going to prefer this deco just because of the the fact that it looks more realistic in a car, but they're so darn close. So can I recommend upgrading? I can't. They're just too close, and the difference is very small. that I can't justify spending another $80 because you're not going to get $80 if you sell this one. Me personally, though, this is a KO. I think it's a KO. I'm not even sure anymore. It's so old. So it's a little loose, and I want to upgrade it anyways. So I'm upgrading for that reason. And on top of that, I happen to just get accessories and, a different paint job. So that works out for me. But if you've got this and you like it, then you win, and there's no reason to upgrade. And you can just kind of stick with your original. The other reason I'm upgrading is I've got the other 2 plus versions of the Dotson Brothers. So just to have it fit in, I'm gonna upgrade it. So that's really it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.